What do you tell your child when this walks into the room? How do you feel comfortable if this walked into the room and sat down in here? I would turn the volume all the way up if this walked in here. You're not going to ever feel comfortable in my presence. I'm not going to dog you. I'm not going to disrespect you. But I'm going to show you what God looks like. Then you look in the mirror and see how far you are off from that. But they would never walk in here. They stay away from knowledge centers. They stay away from cultural meccas. This is why they need African-centered, gay, gender-loving heroes now. The science of this is a scientific war that's going on. This brother did an intense study. Atrazine hired him to do this study because they were trying to prove that what they were doing was right. Atrazine is a herbicide that they use in organic farming or in farming, mass scale farming. He said the herbicide was turning the frogs into homosexuals. They were paying him, so he was supposed to come back with the right information. They said the pesticides was turning the frogs into homosexuals, that their voices were changing, that the male frogs were starting to be attracted to the other male frogs. They were being demasculinized and chemically castrated. They were losing their anatomy. This is the food our children are eating. The genetically modified food, the garbage now. You think you eating a cucumber or a bell pepper or some green beans, and you eating a grafted fruit. That's why when people laugh at Elijah Muhammad talking about the white man was grafted, what they doing to science now? Research proves gender-bending chemicals affect reproduction. It was found that intersex fish, those that had their sexually compromised EDCs and which contain both male sperm and female egg sex cells, have had their reproductive performance reduced by up to 76%. So not only is it turning the men into women and the women into men, but it's stopping your reproduction. Along with the weed you smoke and the Hennessy and the Mad Dog 42. Gender-bending chemicals are turning boys into girls. This is science. We ain't doing this research, but they doing it and they giving it to us. Thank God. This is why we need to teach our sons and our daughters about being interested in science and math. Because they're going to be the ones that come up and create the cures for this madness. The milk that we give our babies, the Enfamil, the Similac, it is destroying them. And we wonder why when they get 13 and 14 years old, they want to pick up some heat and blow somebody's brains out. You disrupted his mental formation when he came out of the womb. And you probably did it before then if you were eating and drinking and thinking the wrong way. It's like sisters don't want to take responsibility and accountability for our actions. We get emotional and get disturbed when somebody says something about what we've done. Well, yeah, we've made some mistakes. And we're not going to be able to deal with them until we actually look at what we've created. They came from our wombs. Yes, we got to hold the brothers responsible. We got to have that conversation. The men have to have it with the men, and then the women have to have it with the men. But the same thing goes for the sisters. My sister grew up. When I grew up, everything came out of the package or the can. Everything. Pork chops. Bacon, ham. I did the experiment with my son. We did put the bacon on the ground and poured the soda on it. It was 100 degrees outside. He saw the worms come out. He'll never touch pork, ever. The baby maker. You want to be a homosexual? You do not have the right to have children. I'm going to say that again. You want to be a homosexual? You do not have the right to have children. This sister, the one on the left is the man. Of course you see she's trying to look the part. She put an ad on Craigslist looking for a black man that was willing to donate sperm. A brother answered the ad who was married. She got an artificial insemination, a home artificial insemination kit. He came to the house, went in the bathroom, did his thing, put it in the tube. She stuck it in her wife, and that's the baby that was born. Bernie Mac coined the term test tube baby. I think it's a little more relevant today. The question is, what is that little boy going to grow up to be? Created with no love, no intimacy, no touch, no physical touch, no bond between man and woman. And they played, they said they played a voice recorder when he was in the womb of Danielle Steele, an ebook of, what do you call those books? The voice books? Audio book of Danielle Steele, but it was a man's voice, so that the child could get used to hearing a man's voice. That's a woman. A black female. Breast tape. Yeah, that's a woman. Pants sagging, fitted cap tight. Got that man swagger down pat, practicing in the mirror, brutish. They walk like this, talk like this, masculine. Just let me be anything other than my mother, other than that weak woman, getting trampled and rampaged by cowardly males, like that cowardly man who crept into my womb, raped and pillaged my soul, left me lifeless in agony and pain. Don't want to be loud and mean and unhappy, seems to define too many sisters. Need something else, want power, want manhood. Softness is weakness. Self-godhood is gone. Nobody wants and likes the overbearing, angry, always bitter, carrying the weight of the world on her shoulder sister. I see them every single day. And I don't get mad anymore because I understand now. But this is what some of those sisters are giving birth to. This picture shows, proves the point. Our brothers, Tom Burrell said, black men have been used as sexual exploiters, conditioned studs with an internalized brutish nature, animalizes, dehumanizes, objectifies, and views women as objects unworthy of long-term commitment. I would take an educated guess and say that somebody in this room might hit the strip club tonight. Somebody might. It's not far-fetched.
It's Monday, I don't know.
Y'all strip clubs ain't open on Monday? Thursday. Okay, so he said they open. So there you go. Somebody might hit the strip club tonight and put a few dollars in a G-string. This is what I'm talking about, controlling your lower nature. He who is ruled by his appetite belongs to his enemy. As long as you stay in the strip club, you ain't a threat to the white man. Believe that.
That's right.
This is, let's show this real quick because I didn't get to talk about this last night. This is in the Same Gender Loving, African Conscious Same Gender Loving group on Facebook. Check them out. It says Pharaoh Ramses II worshiping men, the god of same gender loving. Now anybody familiar with comedic science knows what this image is about right here, right? The penis, the erect penis. We're talking about life. That's that God force. Ibiji, African gods of youth and vitality, also known as the sacred twins. This is the new gods on the scene. Coming soon to a hood near you. Part of the reason, you see the little twinkly, twirly African thing up there, right? Sango. They're creating a new history now. Part of the reason African descended same gender loving men are suffering is because we do not have an image that reflects our divinity. The Euro-Americans have the homoerotic Jesus image to reflect their divinity, and when this is challenged, they turn to the admittedly homosexual Greek gods. Our hetero brothers and sisters, that would be us, have caught on to this and are pushing an Afrocentric paradigm to show the divinity of the African Yet the vast majority are explicit that this divinity does not include the same gender-loving men. You damn right. The fact is that we don't need their approval because ancient Africans provided same gender-loving men with specific divinities. In West Africa, the Orisha, Erinel, I think I'm saying that right, Orinle, is the official patron of same gender-loving men. In the Nile Valley, the great divinity Min was a homosexual variant of the supreme being, Amen. Amen also had a female variant, Amenet. The point being made here is that the ancient Nile wanted to reflect the divinity of all members of the human race, not just the homosexual male. Your history. African consciousness being stripped from you by your own people now. They mix truth with falsehood. They've read all the books by our scholars. Dr. Ben, Nile Valley Contribution to Civilization, Chancellor Williams, they studied all of that. And they found little glitches in the matrix, and now they turning it into something else. I'm going to need to see some of the brothers who like to do the debates, I'm going to need to see them challenge this. The gatekeepers to African consciousness. He said, in fact, the worship of men showed him black as night with an erect penis. Hetero supremacists argue that he signified male fertility, which is not true because unlike the other divinities, he did not have a wife. Ptah was married to Sekhmet, Amen was married to Moet, Osiris was married to Isis, etc. Recognition of men, the symbol of the divinity of homosexuals, just as other gods represented the divinity of other demographics, was a major part of festivals devoted to him in the ancient Nile. I've been studying ancient African civilization since I was 17 years old. I ain't never heard nothing like this. And I'm a student, so if you know something, please, if the book is in here, I'll buy it. I need to know if this is in the history. If not, we're going to have to deal with this. The destruction of another people's spirit is to steal and raise their children against them. African homosexuality and the feminization of the African male, all of us should have that book by Brother Baruch. It's imperative reading. All of us are on post. Y'all with me?
Yeah.
Cool. Some of us are warriors, some of us are not. Do not expect me to be a sheep when I'm a lion. It ain't gonna happen. I respect your right to graze, respect my right to roar. Thank you so
Right off the Broadway sub-stop, Philadelphia, PA. Shot so loud you would think it was a club spot. African Americans, although we all over the web, we the hood librarians. We ship to prisons too. We reach out and deliver to those that's bitten too, but it's more than a bookstore. You want it, we got it. Mixtapes, DVDs, and culture products. Black and Nobel got our hands in a lot of projects. We welcome all to come build. The energy is positive. Every member of the team is awake and conscious. Come through and experience this place of knowledge. They say they'll put it in a book if they wanna hide it from us, but we got them books so you can buy it from us. Something to read while you on a train or riding the bus. Get your read on, food for thought, get your eat on. Black and Nobel, I buy my books at Black and Nobel.